Hello everybody. I finally got my parts. These are the new bushings for the leaf spring eyes. They're 1.5 inch, 5/8 hardware. I will post the part number to them somewhere here in the video. 5/8 by 5 inch grade 8 hardware, some U-bolts, and my intercooler piping kit. So without any more waiting, let's get this rear end in the car. I wanted to show you guys that the tank does fit between the frame rails sideways like this, so I am going to mount it like this. I can't do anything with it until I mount the axle to know where I can mount it front to back in the car. I'd like to get it as close to the axle as I can, but not have it interfere to if I need to do like a gear swap where I can still pull the rear cover and it's not obtrusive. So I just wanted to show you guys that. I know it looked kind of stupid front to back, but I didn't think it would fit in here like this, but it does. And you can see it's just barely in the way of the shackle, but like I said, I'm gonna move it forward as much as I can, so it'll probably be out of the way of that shackle mount. Alright guys, so I don't have any help to put this rear end in today, so what I'm doing is putting my saddles on here, and then I'm gonna bring the rear end over and try to get it in the saddles. You can see I got C-clamps on it so that those don't spin or try to jump off those pegs, and then we'll lift it up and attach these back ones here to the shackles. Alright, I recorded putting this in, but I'm not going to include it because I probably look like a complete idiot trying to wrestle this thing into position with outstretched arms, and I can't cut that section of the floor out, so I was leaning forward while I was doing it. My advice to you, have more friends than me and have them help. It'd be a lot easier, but anyways, it's in. I've got I didn't know, I probably should have ordered, but I didn't know the width on these, and I'd worked so much last week that I didn't really even think about it. But I'm gonna just make some angle iron, I don't know, I guess you'd call them U-bolt brackets, but usually they have a solid piece and then a hole in the center for the centering pin. I'm just gonna make them out of angle iron and then go here to here and here. Basically a piece of angle iron for the back, piece of angle iron for the front, just for mock-up. Just so I can get pinion angle and stuff and put weight on the car and figure as much out as I can, and then when I get paid again, then I can order the necessary brackets. I don't need to weld on them or anything. I will later when I put shocks on, but I don't need them right now, so I'm just going to make some just to get to where I can move forward on it. And then so I'm going to go make those, and then we'll be back and we'll try to set pinion angle and everything. I gotta put weight on the car, on the rear end of the car, so I'll have to lower the rear down and put the jack stand underneath the axle. So like I said, I've got my U-bolts. I just need to make those brackets, and then we'll be able to put it together to where I can put weight on the car, and we'll measure pinion angle and everything. Alright, so I got my leaf springs hung. They're full droop right now. I'm gonna throw these, I didn't show you guys my brackets, but I'll just quickly hand cut these. They're all banded together, but I quickly hand cut those at the shop with the plasma cutter. So I'm gonna put them in there like this, and then one up front, And then we'll hopefully try to set pinion angle today. I don't know if I'll get to it because I gotta drop the car down, but I want to measure for square. I want to make sure that everything's kosher with the how far out the flanges sit and whatnot, but we'll see. All right, so we're back again. As you guys can see, the car's like level. The front isn't on the suspension, it's still on jack stands. I'll show you guys how to measure drive shaft angle. The rear is currently sitting on blocks. I got two 6x6s under it. So I'm approximately 12 inches to the bottom of the axle. Center line of the axle is 14. I plan on running 28 10.5s drag slick radials. So when I go to set up for my drag combo, it'll be where I want it to be. And hopefully with street tires, it'll still be close. Sorry guys, I'm getting old. I'll read you guys it says 90. I would say 91.5. So it's actually got a degree of upward. What you need to measure here is the flange angle. And then the flange angle up front on the transmission. I've got my fixed yoke in there, but I'll still be able to read. I'll still be able to read the yoke degrees. But you want it on a leaf spring car. You want 3 to 5 degrees downward from the shaft angle on the rear, because once you hit the gas in a leaf spring car, the rear end wants to raise up. They call it axle wrap. But I'm going to build some stuff to try to eliminate that. But so what I need to do is measure the front now, and then I need to turn both the flanges in the same direction and wrap a string around it and measure what the shaft angle should be. If you have an old shaft, then you can just put the drive shaft in and check it. If it's like too short or something, you can still put it in and then check your shaft angle. It doesn't matter where, if the front is up in the air, just as long as you measure your shaft angle, because that's what's going to tell you the degrees down or up. You need to be consistent with that. So I'll get that all figured out and show you guys what it looks like on paper. Alright, I didn't go to art school, so forgive my rudimentary drawing, but I've got all the numbers. I do have to make a little bit of a change. First reading at the flange is 91.5, and that I'm reading from back of the car to front. The angle goes up, and all these angles go up. 91.5 at the back. The drive shaft angle is 98, and the flange for the back of the tranny is 95 up. So that's basically 1.5 degrees up, 8 degrees, and 5 degrees up. This is an operating angle of 6.5 for the U-joint, which is too much. They say you can have up to 7. I want about 5. So what I'm going to do is jack up the pinion a little bit until I read like maybe 93-ish. Just barely move it, and then when I do that, it's going to lessen the severity of my drive shaft angle, and it's going to lessen the severity of this U-joint operating angle. I don't want to go too much, because this right now has, if you do 98 minus 95 is a 3 degree operating angle, which is fine. the transmission isn't going to move around as much as the rear end. But maybe I'll just go a half a degree and then it'll be at 6. I'm just going to go with a small increment. I'll let you guys know what I end up with. But I don't want to do too much because I need to keep some degree. And the rear of the tranny isn't mounted yet, if you guys have been following. So if I can set my pinion where I want it, then I can move the tranny around a little bit to compensate for what I need on the trans. So yeah, I'll make some adjustments and I'll let you guys know where I come up with it. Alright, so I did make a change. Now I'm at 93 degree reading at the flange, which is a 3 degree upward. And now the shaft angle measures 7.5 degrees of upward, which gives that an operating angle of 4.5. So that's right where I want it to be. The front didn't change at all. The shaft only changed a half a degree, so the front didn't even make any change. I'll show you guys what it looks like here in just a second, but it's about where I'm going to end it. So I'll show you guys what the car looks like. Alright, this is what it looks like from the back of the car. Like I said, I got it set up on 6x6s. My ride height should be right around 28, or should be right around the height for my tires that I plan on running, which are 10/28s. So it looks like from the side. You can see the car's being held up by just those frame rails right now. It's really not, it hasn't even squeaked or moved or anything, so. Set this down here. It's about what it looks like. I'll probably get some backspace and numbers for you guys that are interested in it. If you want to do a shortened axle, I'll post the backspace for the wheels that I end up with. I'm gonna run I think a 10-inch wide wheel if I can. I know some of you guys are wanting to do this swap too, but haven't got to it yet, so hopefully I'll try to give you as many numbers as I can. The number that I found when it was square, and this is all dependent on which kit you get, because those are US Car Tool spring perches, and 6 and 5/16 from the outside of this perch to the outside of this flange here for your brake mount hardware. And that was the measurement I had to have the axle centered in the car. And I'm trying to think of what else I could give you, but I've got a 16th of, I don't know, narrowness, I guess is what I would say. I think I said this earlier in the video, but I'm gonna, I think, probably get shackles that are this length and just beefed up a little bit, because this one's bent, and I think that's what's causing the bow, because they're only a 16th off, and the center between the leaf springs is the same at the front of the hanger, the front hanger, same across the center of the leaves, and then at the back they're bowed. But it's a 16th, it's not really gonna much matter. Let me set this down. I'll give you guys a view of what it'll look like with the tires in it. Getting pretty exciting. It's nice out. All the birds are coming out. We don't have much prediction. Hopefully we don't have much prediction for more rain, but I can't say that for sure. Don't really watch the news very much. Now these aren't the tires I'm going to run, but they'll give you an idea of they'll give you an idea of what the car will look like on the ground. Get all my crap out of the way. Period, correct, right? Those are Kragers, I think. Popping a little bit of a wheelie. Should be a good old time. We'll lower the front down, have that rear end up in the air. Look at the 70s is gonna be over exaggerated. This front end's gonna be like slammed. But if you guys got any questions that I can help you out with, go ahead and post them in the comments. I try to get back to everybody. Man, that looks good. Hopefully you guys are sticking around. If you want to, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We're going to be finishing up this car as soon as possible. I quit telling people which date or month. We'll just do as we can, and when it gets done, it'll be done, and we'll be using the streets. I hope you guys have a good one. I hope you guys are enjoying the summer weather that hopefully everybody has. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching.